going to explain a feeling that many of you have had before, at least once or twice, right? You open up a new commander deck, say it's Mardu, you know, black, red, and white, and you're so excited for all of the new cards that are going to be in it. You're so excited for all of the reprints that are going to lower the cost of your expensive cards that you are just ready to put more of in your decks, and when you open it up, what do you see? You see this motherfucker. You see this one right here. 23 cents, dinosaur. What the fuck is he doing in your deck? He's 4/8. He's got flying, double strike, vigilance, trample, indestructible. It does everything. But why is it in your deck? Why is this in your Rogues Tribal Outlaw deck? Why is this in your Legendary Creatures Matter deck that isn't in green and therefore will never be summoning this damn thing? Why is this here? Well, it's a tale as old as time. There are 2 Magic the Gathering cards that for some reason Wizards of the Coast prints in every single precon, and we have no idea why they're always there. There's somebody at Wizards who has a hard-on for Zetalpa and Thane the Broker. I swear to God, just start looking at your commander decks when you buy them. I guarantee you if they've got white or black, they've probably got a Zetalpa or a Thane the Broker somewhere in there, and I don't know why these are always in these decks. The only thing that could possibly be more frustrating than seeing one of these reprints again is realizing that you've already recorded this entire video once before. I recorded this and my Bellatrix Witherbloom decks back to back with the intention of editing them back to back as well, so I could get all of my same tasks done at the same time. I think it's an ADHD thing. I'm not 100% certain, but as you can see, this video has no volume. No matter what I do, this video has no volume whatsoever. You can't hear it. I can't hear it. And yeah, it's great. I love staring at this much footage that I cannot use because I fucked up somewhere. And where I screwed up this time is not being able to actually record my videos. So, that said, that is my frustration out of the way. You've been frustrated by seeing Zetalpa in multiple decks, and I'm frustrated that I've recorded the Zetalpa video now multiple times. So, you, me, and one burly dinosaur are about to have a date. Zetalpa Primal Dawn is a 2 white and 6 4/8 commander with the kitchen sink of abilities: flying, double strike, vigilance, trample, and indestructible. Yes, this is an indestructible mono white commander, which almost makes up for us being forced to play mono white to make this commander work. And this is where most of the gripes with Zetalpa will come from. People don't usually like to build monocolored decks. They especially don't like to build mono white decks usually, and Zetalpa is so hard to summon in these decks that why would you even bother? Well, we are going to bother. We are going to build one-shot Zetalpa that is able to weather the storm of anything our opponents throw at us. That is going to be the plan. To facilitate this, we are going to use one of these 11 cards to get a big amount of damage on Zetalpa. In an ideal world, if any of these are on our commander, it should be able to basically one-shot or get damn near close to one-shotting any of our opponents. Let's begin with solid footing, giving our commander 1/1 and the ability to attack with its toughness rather than its power, meaning our commander will hit for 18 damage. All That Glitters gives our commander 1/1 for every artifact or enchantment we control. Blackblade Reforged does this for every land we control. Hero's Blade gives it 3/2 and automatically equips. Nettlecyst gives it 1/1 for every artifact and enchantment we control. Loxodon Warhammer gives it 3/0 trample and lifelink. Gauntlets of Light gives it 0/2 and the ability to swing with its toughness rather than its power, meaning that it will hit for 20 every time. Inquisitor's Flail doubles any damage our commander would deal to anybody. Plate Armor gives it 3/3 and Ward 1. Armored Ascension gives it 1/1 for every planes we control, and Flying, which is superfluous. And Hedron Matrix gives our commander +X/+X, where X is its mana cost, which means it will gain +8/+8. All of these combined makes our commander hit for too much, but individually they should be enough to make our commander win the game in its own right. And for the few equipments we are running, we are going to run a Brask Squire in order to get those equipments on our commander far easier. Now, you may be asking yourself, that commander already hits really big, and that commander can already defend itself with Indestructible. Where's the Hexproof? Why are you not putting Hexproof on this commander? Well, we are putting Hexproof on this commander with a few various cards. Swiftfoot Boots being the first one. We have a lot of money to spare for this $15 build, surprisingly, so Swiftfoot Boots is in here to give our commander Hexproof and Haste. I chose to spend the money on Swiftfoot Boots instead of on Soul Ring because fuck Soul Ring. Then we have Ring of Evo's Isle. For 2 mana, we can give a creature hexproof with this card. It'll also give it a 1/1 counter every upkeep if it's blue, which it's not. Then we have Mirror Shield, which gives a commander 0/2 and hexproof, and the ability to dodge Death Touch, which is superfluous in our deck. Then we have God's Willing, which will give our commander protection from any color of our choice, and the ability to scry 1. This means if our commander would be hit by a Path to Exile or something, we'll just give it protection from white. After that, we have 4 recursion pieces to get any of these back onto the board if we need. Sun Titan gets any mana value 3 or less card from our graveyard to the battlefield when we cast it, and then also whenever it swings and attacks. Magnetic Snuffler grabs any of our equipments from our graveyard, puts it on the battlefield when we play it. Ironclad Slayer grabs any of our ores and equipments and puts them into our hand, and Brotherhood Outcast puts any of our ores and equipments mana value 3 or less onto the battlefield. It is a very, very simple deck strategy. We just want to put 1 or 2 equipments on our commander and swing at an opponent once. That person should die, and the other people should cower in fear. Now, we do have a couple of issues. One is that we are very, very reliant on the 99 in our deck, as our commander will take 3 shots to kill any one person. It is an elder dinosaur, after all. But we want to make sure that it's killing in 1 hit. So we need to be able to draw into the cards the deck needs. This is where we're going to hit our first hurdle. Let's talk about the draw engine. Or should I say lack thereof. In mono white at this budget, it's a struggle to get enough cards to draw us stuff. And normally this would be easy to manage. We would use cards like Mentor of the Meek or Welcoming Vampire in order to use the white weenie strategy to draw lots of cards that way. Problem: we are not running that kind of deck. In fact, as you can see, we only even have 15 creatures, so we can't rely on our usual methods of draw. We have to get kind of creative with cards like Brainstone that let us draw 3 cards from the deck and put 2 on top of the library. Collector's Vault, giving us the ability to draw and discard and generate treasures to summon the commander faster. Matsalanti to give us draw and discard because we need more looters to dig through our deck. Cards like Sky Scanner to increase our artifact count for cards like Metal Cyst and All That Glitters that also happen to replace itself with a draw card. Mask of Memory to give us the ability to draw 2 and discard 1. Crown of Condor to give us the Monarch and try to get draws off of that. Alms Collector to try to piggyback off of our opponent's draw spells. Illuminated Folio to try to reveal white cards from our hands in order to draw cards. And cards like Cut a Deal to draw cards by giving our opponents cards. Things I normally would not be big on, but we kind of don't have much of a choice. We are incredibly limited in white with what we are able to do. So let's go ahead and do our best with what we have. Now, this does mean I'm going to go ahead and give you a spoiler alert. When we get to the upgrade section of the video, we are mostly going to be talking about cards that are going to help us increase the draw power of the deck, as the budget version of the deck suffers greatly in this particular category. Till then, though, let's go ahead and move on to removal and interaction so that we can supplement our lack of draw with increased kill power, shall we? While white does suffer from a high amount of draw spells, it does not suffer from unique removal spells that are very modal. Beginning with Banishing Slash, this gives us a 2/2 white samurai we can use to dodge edict effects while also blowing up an artifact, enchantment, or a tapped creature. Cathar Commando can dodge edict effects by being a creature at flash speed and also lets us sacrifice it to destroy any artifact or enchantment. Disenchant, Revoke Existence, and Seal of Cleansing blow up artifacts and enchantments on their own. Angelic Purge can let us sacrifice any permanent to get rid of an artifact, creature, or an enchantment. Generous Gift can blow up any type of card on the board. Since we do suffer from needs to kill Glacial Chasm-itis, Generous Gift can get us through that, and Stroke of Midnight can get rid of anything that the Generous Gift can get rid of, minus lands. Return to Dusk gets rid of artifacts and enchantments, but if we use it on our own turn, then we can use it to kill 2 cards, and then Make Your Move destroys an artifact, creature, or an enchantment as well, but for 3 mana. And because we have an indestructible commander, we can get a little crazy with all of our board wipes too. We can run 5 instead of the usual 2 or 3. Shatter the Sky is our first one, blowing up every single creature on the board and then drawing us a card, and anybody else who has a creature with power 4 or greater will draw a card too. Cleansing Nova can blow up all creatures or all artifacts and enchantments. Austere Command can do the same thing, but we choose artifacts, enchantments, or 2 types of creatures. Expel the Interlopers can let us blow up all creatures with power 0 or greater, and Phyrexian Rebirth blows up all creatures and then gives us an alternate win con with a giant Phyrexian creature to sit next to our commander nice and pretty, since our commander will never die to this destruction effect. This should be enough removal to stop our opponents from winning the game, since our deck will be a little slow. But let's supplement our speed a bit. Let's talk about ramp. Our commander costs 8 mana. There's no real way around this. So we are going to be running 18 ramp spells, with us leaning on ramp spells that do extra things to supplement what they are doing. Though some of these are just plain old good ramp, like Everflowing Chalice, letting us use charge counters to get mana. By paying 2 mana, we get 1 charge counter, 4 mana, we get 2 charge counters, so on and so forth. Wayfarer's Bauble can get any basic land from our deck onto the battlefield. Charitable Levy gets a plains from our deck onto the battlefield and draws as a card when we crack it. Gold Mirror's a 2 mana dork. Loyal Warhound grabs a basic plains from the deck, puts it on the battlefield. Marble Diamond's a 2 mana rock. Same with Mind Stone, but we can sack it to draw a card. Bonder's Ornament is a 3 mana rock that can draw us cards. Unstable Obelisk is a 3 mana rock we can use in order to blow up permanents later in the game. Danitha Capuchin Paragon has the ability to make our auras and equipments cost less. Commander Sphere makes us have the ability to draw cards with it by sacking it after we've used it for mana. Burnished Heart can sack itself to get 2 lands out of the deck. Worn Power Stone is a 3 mana rock for a very good price. Hedron Archive is a 2 mana rock for a 4 mana rock that makes 2 mana and can sack itself to draw cards. Core Cartographer can grab a plains out of the deck. Solemn Simulacrum can do the same, but draws a card if it dies. Stone Speaker Crystal can draw us a card when we sack it and also get rid of everybody's graveyards. And Dreamstone Hedron can give us 3 mana when we use it and also can be used to draw 3 cards later on in the game. Ramp, 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 ramp. That is the name of the game for our first few turns. And looking at our opening hand, we have a Collector's Vault, which will let us ramp and also dig deeper into the deck, and a Dreamstone Hedron we can use to get up and over the edge for our commander. Honestly, this is a perfect opening hand, so let's draw our opening cards, play our plains, and then move on to turn 2. Turn 2, we play another plains, tap 2, and let's go ahead and put the Collector's Vault on the board. When we move on to turn 3, another plains comes down, and we will spend 2 mana, cracking the Collector's Vault, and get rid of a card in our hand. Looking where we're at right now, I think the best thing we could possibly get rid of would be this plains in our hand in order to make a treasure token. This gives us a draw, which turns out to be another plains, but the treasure token is more easy ramp. This means when we go into turn 4, we have 5 mana available after playing this plains. Let's go ahead and pay 2. And let's get that Blackblade Reforged on the board, and we'll use the Collector's Vault again to get rid of a plains from our hand, draw a card, and make another treasure token with that last 2 mana. This means we are on curve to play our commander super early. It's turn 5, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 mana. Our commander costs 6, our commander costs 8, so we can't quite play it right now. So we're going to pay 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then crack one of our treasures to play Dreamstone Hedron. We'll then tap the Dreamstone Hedron to play the Bonder's Ornament. Now, we look at our hand, and we actually like the cards we have in our hand, so we're going to crack the treasure in order to play the Mask of Memory, so we have this on the board and ready to go. Now, we're going to move into turn 6, and let's go ahead and get Buried Ruin on the board. Let's pay 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and there, on turn 6, 2 turns early, Zetalpa is out and ready to go. Now, we still have 2 mana available. We can use this for Collector's Vault to dig into our deck, or we can use this to attach our Mask of Memory. We're going to let the board state decide what you would have to do here. Since we're goldfishing, let's assume that we can sit on a Solemn Simulacrum and a Cleansing Nova, and we'll just tap 1 and equip the Mask of Memory to Zetalpa. We move into turn 7, and let's place a Myriad Landscape down and pay 1, 2, 3, and put Blackblade Reforged on Zetalpa. Now Zetalpa has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 extra power on top of its 4, meaning Zetalpa will always be able to swing for 11 damage, and we'll be able to draw to discard 1 when we do so. And we can use our extra mana to filter Bonder's Ornament into draw. We punch somebody with Zetalpa, ending the game for them, drawing 2 and discarding 1 card. Let's say we discard the Cathar Commando since we drew a Sun Titan. We'll then pay 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, play that Sun Titan, and just go ahead and revive that Cathar Commando. Now we have access to it to get rid of a card if we need. We get to move on to the next turn, and our Zetalpa can swing at somebody else, drawing us 2, discarding the Hedron Archive we don't need, ending the game for that person. We can then pay 1, 2, 3, and use Stroke of Midnight to get rid of the last player's important game piece, and pay 1, 2, 3, 4, placing a Stone Speaker Crystal on the board and then getting rid of it to get rid of our opponent's graveyard in order to basically just end the game for them as well. If they were a reanimation deck, they don't have anything, and if they try to remove Zetalpa, we'll tap the Bonder's Ornament and we'll put the God's Willing onto Zetalpa so that we scry 1 and protect it from whatever removal they cast. That means on our turn, we swing Zetalpa in and win the game. Every player is gone on turn 9, with each player dying from turn 7 onward. This is why the deck functions. All we need is generally one of our equipments, and Zetalpa should be able to end the game for any of our opponents. Now, this does beg a question, though. If the deck can do this so efficiently, what would you even add into the deck if you were upgrading it? And I think the answer is pretty obvious. Draw power. A couple of notes with this Zetalpa build. It is a big mana deck, through and through. So realistically, the things we need to be adding into the deck need to be in service of its big mana stuff. This is why I think the most important upgrades you could add to this, on a budget, would be Eldrazi. And I say on a budget because costs like the Great Distortion, he only runs, and I'm trying to get this to where I can even see it, he only runs us $3, with Butcher of Truth being a $43 card we don't necessarily need. If you've got the money, then you could just buy 3 other decks. But Great Distortion draws us until we have 7 cards when we play it. It costs 2 more than our commander, meaning it's going to come down typically the turn after our commander, refilling our hand from turboing out our commander. You can also add in cards like the Broken Reality, which will give us tokens, and also give us a draw 4 as well. Broken Reality is a fantastic card, and at only $5, it's not a hard upgrade to see. Butcher of Truth is the only one that's super pricey here. We can also make the commander come out a bit easier with Geode Golem, because anytime this deals combat damage to a player, we get to play our commander for free. We could also help the deck turbo things out a bit easier with a Thran Dynamo. Past that, adding a War Room and a Bonder's Enclave to the land package will give us more access to draw, supplementing the problems with white, and we can add even more draw with Archivist of Ogma, Endless Atlas, and Mangra the Diplomat, letting us benefit from our opponent's spellcast in order to draw. Finally, a few easier ways to give our commander hexproof could be in order, like say Champion's Helm, which will not only give our commander 2/2, but also give it hexproof as well, meaning our commander will be able to one-shot people more easily, and, most importantly, will be able to keep it protected from things like Path to Exile. All in all, I thought this deck was a fun exercise. I was at the gym, and I just started building this when I took a bathroom break, and it's been like 3 weeks after that, and I finally got everything put together to make this thing function. So, I hope you guys enjoy it. I know Zetalpa is a ridiculously powerful card, it just costs 8 mana. So, trying to find a way to make 8 mana work on a commander like this in a budget in mono white is a bit of a challenge, but I think we managed it today. That all said, let me know what y'all think in the comment section below. Hit the like button if you haven't already, subscribe if you haven't already, support me on Patreon if you really want to help out, and if you are on Patreon, you know what? Let's go ahead and throw this in there as well. Patrons can suggest decks that they would like me to build, and I will go ahead and give them priority over anything else for decks that are being built. That all said, let me know what you think in the comment section below. Hit the like button if you haven't already, all that other fun stuff I've already said, and insert end of video tagline here. Hey, just wanted to give a quick thank you to all of my wonderful patrons who help keep me afloat and help keep this channel going. YouTube and Twitch are wonderful platforms, but at the end of the day, stability is not one of their strong suits. If you want to support my channel, then obviously Patreon is one of the best ways of doing that. Link is in the description. But I do want to personally thank everybody who has contributed to the channel. Those people would be Red Joker, Purple Poundini, Jemshin, Britzkrieg, Jupe the Malignant, Michael, Ravalern, Mabbity Babbity, Astral Frontier, Autumn and Angel, Nixie Chan, Agamotto, Victorian Alchemist, I'm not saying the last part of that, and you know that. Arcton Arclacier, Kiratorian, Dren Hadamata, Jordan M, John L, Lord Bleck, Smiling Game Master, and Fireshard. And everyone else who supports my channel and lets me do what I do full time. This is a dream job of mine that I never believed that I would be able to take full time, and with your help, I've been able to do it. So thank you so very much for that. Thank you for watching the video. I hope you all enjoy, and I hope you all are having a wonderful time. I will see you all in the next one, hopefully.